The climate change that occurs once in 10,000 years has occurred in the whole of Canada, especially in the areas of British Columbia and Vancouver and parts of the United States, due to which hundreds of people have died.
This weather is due to a heat dome, a climatic phenomena behind sudden rise in temperatures. Coronavirus and wildfires were already making life very difficult for unhoused people in the Pacific Northwest, and this week's record-breaking heat waves just made things worse.
British Columbia, Canada's westernmost province, is a highly populated city with approximately 50 lakhs of people. In the history of British Columbia, the highest degree of heat ever has been recorded.
The country's temperature records have now been broken for 3 days in a row, with the latest soaring to 49.5 degrees Celsius in Lytton on Tuesday. Before Sunday, temperatures have never surpassed 45 degrees Celsius in Canada, with the last records set in 1937. At least 486 sudden deaths have been reported over 5 days during this unusual heat wave.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA of the US, has described this as a weather phenomenon that occurs when the atmosphere traps hot ocean air like a lid or a cap.
This is said to happen when there is a strong change in the temperatures of the ocean. Due to convection, the warm air raises over the surface of the ocean in the shape of a mountain or a dome. Upon reaching there, strong jet streams trap the air and force it towards the ground level. The already hot air gets compressed and heats up further by the time it descends down, creating a self-sustaining.
Hot air is trapped by high pressure fronts, and as it is pushed back to the ground, it heats up even more. The condition also prevents clouds from forming, allowing more radiations from the sun to hit the ground. As the dome traps the heat, it also exhausts natural heating mechanism like evaporation by drying out most of the moisture in the land.
Weather scientists and organizations such as the NOAA have studied these climatic changes and arrived at the conclusion that a heat dome typically lasts a week. They said that the formation becomes too big to keep standing and falls over, releasing the trapped air and ending this.
They have been highlighting the effects of rising temperature on more extreme heat waves. According to 2017 NOAA survey, average US temperature has increased since late 19th century. In decades to come, climate scientists expect more days of severe heat waves. Apart from the US, cities as far north as the Arctic Circle broke heat record this week.
The record-breaking heat wave in the US Northwest and Canada is believed to be causing what could be the biggest glacier melt in Washington state in a century, after a milky water was reported to be running the Puget Sound, an inlet of the Pacific Ocean. Scientists have warned that the substance could be rocks and minerals from the melting glaciers.
A forest fire that began after 3 days of record-breaking temperature has destroyed most of the small western Canadian town of Lytton. The soaring temperature have caused hundreds of deaths, and the wildfires have threatened the safety of residents of British Columbia village, situated 153 kilometers northeast of Vancouver, Canada. Government officials issued fresh evacuation orders on Thursday as more wildfires tore the fire also caused extensive damage to British Columbia hydro stations and highways, limiting access to Lytton by road. There have also been around 710,000 lightning strikes hitting Western Canada in a single night after wildfires generated massive clouds that spread across the country.
60% of the British Columbians do not own an air conditioner in their households, and houses without air conditioners have been experiencing an unbearable rise in temperatures at their homes, which could lead to sudden deaths similar to the ones reported in Canada and the US. Even some of the COVID vaccination centers have been closed because of the heat. Heat domes can also wreak havoc on agriculture, as most crops will be unable to cope with such extreme heat, leading to food shortages and an increase in the prices of food.
In the long term, heat domes can cause a trail of effects even after they have gone. The super hot condition evaporate any moisture and create dry regions where wildfires can start and spread much more easily. These conditions can also cause drought or drought-like conditions by evaporating a large amount of water while simultaneously increasing increasing the demand for water for cooling purposes.
Infants and children, people of 65 years and older, people who do a lot of physical activity or work in a hot environment are at increased risk. And in most cases, the heat-related illness like strokes are preventable. Hot, dry skin or profuse sweating, confusions, loss of consciousness, seizures, very high body temperature are some of the symptoms of heat strokes and heat exhaustion. Heat strokes can also follow from untreated heat exhaustion or can happen without little or no warning.
The effects of climatic change have led to more extreme heat waves, according to weather scientists. They expect more severe heat waves in coming decades as climate change has been getting severe. Along with the US, some regions in the Arctic Circle also broke the heat records this week. The current heat dome event is neither the first nor the last. Less than a year ago, a similar heat dome event occurred in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic.
While heat domes are a natural phenomena, their intensity, rate of occurrence, and frequencies are all worsened by the rising global temperature. As the Pacific Ocean continues to get warmer, it will lead to the world heating up, and in a cycle, the temperature gradient across the oceans also increases. It is this gradient that causes more frequent and intense heat dome events to occur. The Pacific Ocean has claimed to have warmed up nearly 1.7 degrees Celsius in the past 50 years.
This is not just a problem faced by the people in British Columbia and the Canadian, but a global problem.
The source of this problem is climate change, and that is exactly what we have to solve.
What is your opinion on heat dome event happened in British Columbia and Canada? Will this spread to other parts of the world?
To know more about such interesting and trending topics, do like, subscribe, and comment on our channel.
And don't forget to click the bell icon.